Francisco. Francisco. Brother.
It's sister. Get it right, Glen Coco. Today's tutorial is going to be on a date that's very important, and that is weddings. It's very important for women, and you need to always get it right, especially when you're working with clients that have short hair. A lot of brides are going to request you an updo or hair down, but today's going to be focused on short hair, how to create an updo with short hair, and how to make it with dimension, especially when they have black colored hair. Black colored hair tends to not reflect any light, any highlights of any sort, which is why updos look amazing always on blonde hair. Every magazine that you see, and if you pay attention, every bride that brings you a cutout out of a magazine of an updo is done on blonde hair because it just brings out the beauty of the updo. You're able to see every detail on every curl and of what makes that updo look stunning. And they come with black hair and they expect that same look. Well, there's a way that you can actually do it, and that's by adding dimension into black hair. How do you do that? By adding 1 or 2 levels down of that color. If you're working with black level 1, which is jet black, you want to go to natural black because they most likely are not going to let you go lower than that because they like that dark vampire hair. I call it that, you know, it's not a vampire. I refer it as vampire, you know, because it's like, but as you see, this is natural tone and this is jet black. I think there is a huge difference, and clients will always tell you there is a huge difference. But this, by adding this tone into this, it's just going to bring out those details of your updo. And this is what we're going to do. A very simple updo, but very timeless. When you should do updos, you should always make sure that it's timeless. That 10 years from now, that bride is going to be happy to see her wedding pictures. In my opinion, updos or upstyles that are timeless are effortless. So let's get started. I'm just going to put her hair up in a ponytail. Very simple and easy to do. I'm going to teach you a trick where all the hairs are going the same direction and it looks snatched. Did you guys know that ponytails are the one thing I struggle with the most? They're never either centered, they're never clean, but it gets you through. So you do this. You know, just put it into a simple ponytail, you know, nice and pulls back away from her face. And to get it clean, make it like nice and slick and pulls back, you just get a color brush, spray hairspray on it, and you paint. And if that doesn't work, another trick is you get clippers and just cut those bitches off. Just kidding, don't do that. But look, you see the difference how now it looks nice and clean and polished? And don't worry about if it's perfect, if every hair is going back. If there's some texture in there, I personally think it looks better than when it's really slicked and clean and perfect. I feel like that's a wig. Hair is meant to have life, to have movement. And with black hair, honestly, you can't even see it. When a bride comes to me and they ask for a consultation, there's 3 things I always tell them to send me before even meeting them. One is a picture of their wedding dress, a picture of themselves, and a picture of the way they always picture themselves. Because I want to see what face shape they have, what features they have. Is their hair long? Is their hair short? What tone is their hair? And most importantly, what shape is the dress that she will be wearing? Because there has to be a flow. Everything has to connect. The dress, the hair. You want to make sure that she looks at her best, that everything complements her. This is a dress that you're doing on their head. So you have to make sure that it complements the shape of their head. So once you do that, you want to, this is short. You know, there's not a lot to work with. The donuts that they sell or a sponge, you know, use it as a fill. This will help you actually make that updo even stand out. If it was to be a little longer, then yes, you can mold it into a little ball. But this, if you see, this is gonna stick out. There's no way that I'm going to get this to lay down, and I don't wanna fight it because hair will always win. Instead, work with it. It doesn't matter how you get it down or what shape you put it in because it's going to be hidden. Another thing, when you're working with bobby pins, you don't want to open them. That actually pushes the bobby pin out of the hair. It doesn't hold anything because there's too much hair in there. And the pressure of the bobby pin wants to close, so it's going to push out. So here I'm using a ponytail. Doesn't matter how it's clipped because we're not using it as a ponytail. We're using it to build something. So it doesn't matter how it's used because you're going to mold it into something else. As long as it's pinned at the base, you are good to go, my friend. Then we go in with the lighter. This is what's going to gives life to this updo. You're going to be able to see every detail of the curls I'm about to do. And I'm not opening it from its package. I'm actually using that because it works towards my advantage. And you're going to be securing this updo with a lot of bobby pins. So to hold it, to begin with, you don't need a lot of bobby pins because it's not going to fall, because you're going to go in there, curl it, and then secure it with more bobby pins. This little friend that's hanging from the ponytail, I'm going to actually use it to secure this base a little more by just actually using it as what it's made for, and wrap it around both, get it out of my way, don't worry about it, So what I'm doing when I curl this, I'm actually going to take a little bit of the black and a little bit of the natural tone and curl both of them together. I am going to add a little bit of hairspray. If your extensions have been used already for a few times, I don't recommend using more hairspray on top of that. It already has product. It doesn't need any more. So I got my small section. So what I'm doing is just putting the comb underneath the hair and just combing it as it feed it through the curling iron and rolling it in. Once that's done, getting a duck pin and just sitting it on the top. Doesn't matter where, just sit it. And set it, let it chill. I'm taking big sections. I'm not doing them small. I want them to be big. So give it a good spray. Getting a little from jet black tone and the natural tone. So since it's a big section, I'm gonna let that chill for 5-6 seconds before I feed more hair into it, to make sure that all the heat from the curling iron gets distributed so you can have an even curl. And as I get towards the ends, it's faster because there's not a lot of hair and the heat is going to go through. Once you do that, just get it, roll it back in. You want to set your duck pins in, like boom, from above, like if it's falling. So while I do curls, I want to tell you something that I have always thought about, and something that, not that I've known because it's not proven, because I'm not a scientist. But one thing I've always known, and I started thinking about this the other day because I had to teach my client's assistant how to do curls. And one thing that I told her, got stuck with me, was that I'm not training her to do curls. I'm training her, but then she has to go train her hands how to do hair. Because I believe that yes, all the knowledge, all the information gets stored in your head, but you don't use your head to do hair. You use your fingers. Your fingers are sensitive, and it's your fingers that are working when you're working with hair. And I don't know if this also applies to anything else that has to do with you working with your fingers, but I'm talking about hair. I think that hairstylists, when they first start working with hair, they're working with their heads. But eventually there comes a time after practice and practice and practice that they start doing hair with their hands, not with their heads. And why do I think that? Because I think women, their energy source and where all their energy goes into is their hair. It's an energy outlet to where energy comes in and energy comes out, which is the reason why everything affects the growth of your hair. Everything. If you're dieting, if you're stressed, if you're depressed, everything affects the growth of your hair. Why? Because it's your energy. And guys' energy source, and that's what I'm calling it. I'm not sure if that's the proper way to put it, but that's what I'm gonna call it. Their energy source is their hands. That's where energy comes in and out. That's why women like their boyfriends or husbands to touch them, because that's how they actually feel their love and affection. So when you think about it, women's energy source is their hair. Men's energy source is their hand. It's the reason why women think and feel more comfortable when a man is doing their hair. Because it's not that men can do better hair than women, no. It's because they're more comfortable with men because both energies are connected. So everything that you feel, they feel. I personally don't think that I do the best hair, but women do. It's is another reason why I always tell hairstylists to be calm, to relax when they're first learning. Why? Because your energy that you're feeling, that you're scared, you're nervous, you're transmitting it and putting it through the client right to their energy source, which they're going to feel it right away. They're gonna get nervous because you're nervous. They're gonna get scared because you're scared. And I told her, you need to stay calm and relaxed, because if you don't, you're gonna burn her. But if you stay calm and relaxed and you show confidence, she's gonna think that you know what you're doing. She's not even gonna pay attention to what you're doing. Why? Because you're calm. As soon as she gets nervous and you get nervous, guess what? You disactivate your hands and you turn on your head, and now you're doing hair with your hands, which is gonna cause you to burn her, because you're not connected directly to the hair, to the energy source. I don't know, it's just something that I thought about it, but to me, it makes sense. One thing I have always said, and I'm not being serious, but to me, this is why hair is so important to women. And it is so important because if you were to shave her hair, you will be destroying her. You will be killing her alive. That's how important hair is to women. So, as you see, I am complete, and I have curled it. Look at this, already looks amazing as it is. And all I did was curls, and I set her hair. From here, what you're gonna do is just open up the curls and just mold it. The shape that you wanna create is a round shape or oval shape, works best, you know? You wanna make sure that the updo is big enough, dramatic enough that you can see it from the sides, and that it looks amazing from the back. You wanna make sure that you see it a little from the front, because if you don't, it's just gonna look like she has her hair pulled back. And you don't want it too high also, because then she looks like a quinceañera. So with this, I'm just going to let down each curl. I'm just going to release them. Let them be free. Doesn't matter if they fall. Just release them, release them, release them. And now I'm just going to start molding them. A great way to take out a knot and not pull out the ponytail is to stop the tension. And you do that by wrapping the hair around your fingers, wrapping it tight, and combing the knot out. This puts all the tension on this part where you need to be working with, stops it here from going all the way to the base. So what you want to do is just get each curl, comb it out, give it a good spray, and then you just want to mold it and create an oval. And you want to let the hair go where it wants to go, you know, this direction. Like, let the hair guide you. Right? And hold this curl with right there, and then we'll continue with. So what you want to do is just create S-shaped patterns or number 8. I'm sure you're able to tell every little S and every little 8 that I'm doing. You want to spray it. And when you take this out, you want to, wherever you're taking this one out, duck pin out, you want to put a bobby pin in first. You know, because that's where it's holding. So put a bobby pin in there, and then take out the quack pin. There's a duck pin there. I am going to put a bobby pin there. And remember, don't overfeed the bobby pin. It will throw up by pushing out the hair. And we are done. And this is the finished result. As you can see every detail, every wave, every S, every ocho that we have created to make this beautiful bun. And it's big, it's dramatic. You can see it from the side, you can see it from the left, the right, and the back, you know, when they turn, which is a beautiful style. This style would be perfect for a mermaid dress when it's all fitted, like nice and tight, and all of a sudden it has like, boom, the tail. It's beautiful. It creates a beautiful shape on a woman, and it gives height to the veil. You know, this is gonna go bam, and it's so gorgeous. I just love weddings, I really do. Rosa! Subscribe. And I guess now you can take it out. But this completes the tutorial on a bridal upstyle. I hope you guys liked it. Don't forget to subscribe, tell all your friends about me. It was so much fun. I love you, take care, peace out. Rosa, can you tell them what to do, please?
What is that?
Rosa, We practice. Come on, just tell them what we practice.
Subscribe.
Subscribe. I said subscribe, not subscribe. Subscribe. Subscribe.
Can you guys just subscribe so I can go already?